This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This is your boy Black Magus. Talking a lot of wrestling the last few days, but the Royal Rumble has brought out a lot of compelling, topics for wrestling these days. So it gets me in the mood to talk about it. But just wanted to real quick touch on the whole reaction to the Royal Rumble. While I was displeased, while I didn't think it was a well executed pay-per-view, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm curious to see what WWE is going to do to, quote unquote, fix it. But that's pretty much where it stopped. Apparently fans went like the extra mile. I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that there was a protest by the Philly fans. By the way, I still love the Philly fans because they're very in tune with wrestling. They know what they want. They kind of reflect what a lot of us want. And, while I do agree they overreact a tad, that's Philly. That's how Philly is when it comes to their sports and entertainment. I mean, we see how they act at their sports team games. That's Philly fans. They go the extra mile. They probably go a little too far with it, but I give them hats off for having that passion. You know what I mean? And I thought they did a great job at the Royal Rumble by letting WWE know what they weren't pleased with and what they wanted to see. I think that's important. I think that you shouldn't just cheer for what's going on, just, if you don't feel it. So that's cool. It kind of casted a, cloud over what was already a pretty bad pay-per-view to begin with. But, hey, it was honesty, and I respect that. I don't think I necessarily agree with the whole, again, I'm not sure if this was true, but the whole after the show, staging a protest type of thing like that. I don't think it was necessary, but I mean, again, I guess it was just their honest reaction. Who knows? It definitely does highlight that a lot of people aren't happy with the direction that WWE is going. And even more so, the whole cancel WWE network movement does as well. Apparently, the cancellation page crashed last night because so many people were flooding it to cancel their subscription because they were very upset at the outcome of the Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns winning was not a popular pick. It hasn't been a popular pick for a while, but it's something that I think a lot of us have known. Again, I said it before in a podcast that I felt like he was going to win, and I felt like he was going to win because this is what WWE wants, not necessarily what the fan base wants. They want to put Roman Reigns over. They want us to believe that he is the next big thing, that he is the guy that we should look at as, the person to carry the WWE banner, and they're going to do it, and they did it. So people aren't sitting well with that. And you know what? Again, I respect that because it is definitely a case of WWE telling you, no, you want him to be the man. You need him to be the man, instead of listening to the fans tell you, no, we don't want him. And I don't think people dislike Roman Reigns. Like, for myself, I could say I don't dislike him. I just don't think that he's ready to be that man yet. He needs to develop a little more. And hopefully when WrestleMania comes and he gets his shot, he won't get the belt, because I don't, or at least if he does get the belt, that he's in a position where he's ready. Because I don't think he's ready to carry it. I don't think he's ready to carry the company in the ring or out of the ring right now. He has a little bit of work to do. Let him develop. That's my biggest problem with the whole situation, is that it's not an organic type of deal. It feels very forced, and that's not what you need. I mean, one of the best things about wrestling in the past, and I know people get upset when a lot of us keep pulling to the past, when we're making our arguments, but it's very, it's something that's very pertinent to what's going on, is that back in the day, people's development was organic. It's like, most people know I don't really care that much for John Cena, but part of what made John Cena, a success was that he wasn't completely forced on you. He rose through the ranks. He, did his time. He wasn't always the man. He started out and he gained his heat. He held lesser titles. He had, his losses, his ups, his downs. He eventually grew to be the man because they allowed him to go through all of that and let the crowd connect with him. Whereas with Roman Reigns, they're pretty much grabbing the fans' hand and putting it in Reigns' hand and say, here you go. This is you guys need to be together. And Reigns has potential. I really do think he has potential. But you can't force, the whole situation on us. And this is why people are upset. Now, I don't think that we need to just start all of a sudden canceling things. I mean, if you're really upset with the product, you're not happy where it's going with, I totally agree. Don't bother with it. If canceling means that's you cutting your tie to WWE and you're moving on, going somewhere else, then I agree, because you should not, you should never be a part of, use, or endorse something that you feel is dissatisfying. I think my biggest problem with the canceled WWE network thing is that I don't think a lot of these people are necessarily cutting ties with WWE completely. I just think that they're trying to do something to punish WWE, and it's going to hurt in the long run because they don't need the, cancellations. It's already been a slow build to get people to jump on board with WWE Network, mostly because, like, for me, I feel like they have programming issues. It's cool that you have the documentaries. It's cool that you have the archive matches, but I feel like they need to connect this, that product to more recent stuff as well. You have to have the repeats of Raw and SmackDown, to me, on there immediately after, so those people who don't get to see them when they air can come back. It shouldn't be something that you have to get a separate service for. This is your product. It should be on there. You know what I mean? I do think that they need to kind of flesh out their original programming a bit. You don't need to do a whole lot, but yeah, you need to give us a little bit more, just modernize it more and not just carry it off the pay-per-views, because I think the pay-per-view is a good way to carry it. $10 a month for a pay-per-view, $120 a year for all 12 pay-per-views, as opposed to $50, $60 a month. That's at least like, how much is that? I think like $600 maybe a year at least for that. So it has its benefits, it has its value and all that, but I feel like it's not. I tell people all the time, I don't think you should get it unless you're just getting it for the pay-per-views and NXT, because outside of the pay-per-views and NXT, I don't think that the old content and the documentaries are a big enough draw to make you, because you're not going to keep coming back and watching these things over and over. You know what I mean? I just feel like, I pay $10 a month to come check you out maybe once a week with NXT, and then that once a month with the pay-per-view. So I may turn it on 5 times in a month, and I'm paying $10 for it. So you know what I mean? That's how I look at it. And but that's neither here nor there. Cancel it because Daniel Bryan got thrown out early, which I agree is bad. They should have had him in the match longer. It would have made a little more sense. It would have been a lot more entertaining. I think. I'm not upset with him not winning because I'm fine with that. He just came back. Let him grow back into that top spot again. That's fine with me. But I'm not gonna sit here and cancel things. There are better reasons to cancel the WWE Network, and this isn't it. And it is sort of an overreaction. But at the same time, like I said, it's a reaction that I can understand. I can't say that I endorse it, but I can understand, and I could see the potential in its, the potential benefit of it, only in the fact that maybe this now will get WWE to understand that wrestling is something that's always been, influenced mainly by the fans. You have to address and acknowledge what the fans want. You can't necessarily just force things on people, because when you do that, it leaves a bad taste and it alienates people from your product. So they have to learn how to, work things a lot better. I think Roman Reigns could really be over if they would let him grow. Just let him grow, In the meantime, you want to take risks, you want to take chances. How about, putting the belt on people who are going to show up all the time? How about making people care who your Intercontinental Champion is, like it used to be? Making people care about the U.S. title. How about throwing on crazy matches, doing more match work? How about having the divas wrestle and not worried about their reality show bullshit? There's a lot of things WWE can do to push the envelope themselves without having to listen to the fans, but they're not going to do that. They're stuck in a rut. That's another argument. I'm getting off topic here. Bottom line is, you can't force them it's not going to help ultimately with this cancel WWE Network movement if you still stay invested in the product. So why bother with it? Voice your opinion. I agree. If you're really displeased, cancel it. But make sure that if you're putting all of this passion behind this, that you don't tune back in Monday to Raw, or you don't watch the next pay-per-view, because it kind of is like making a lot of noise for nothing. But that's what we do a lot. It's like, state your opinion, state your frustration, but please don't look at this as a movement. I don't think it needs to be. It's a necessary movement. You just got to keep. We just have to keep, letting them know what we like and don't like. I guess, I don't know. It's just, it's a weird situation. It's interesting though. It definitely brings compelling drama. Maybe WWE will use this for their benefit. I don't know. But it is what it is. I'm not protesting anything like that, but again, if you're displeased, just disconnect yourself from WWE and don't bother with it, and you'll be a lot happier. Otherwise, just go for the ride, I guess. I don't know. It's just a crazy, interesting situation right now with WWE Universe. But anyway, you guys hit me up and let me know what you think, because Royal Rumble has created such a compelling story outside of the ring. I hope WWE could take some of this drama, this heat, and use it to build the product and make it better. I don't know. We'll see. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. This your boy Black Megan. I'll holler at you later. Deuces.